Hello,
Hello.
and welcome back to More Meat Alpha. I'm Dan.
I'm Mickey.
Today we're doing something a bit different. If you've watched our content before, you know that we generally do some reaction stuff, but we thought we'd do some music tier lists. And we're starting with 20 greatest rock bands, right?
Yep.
So this is going to be interesting. It's just more of an excuse to talk about bands that we love, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what we got here to start? Rolling Stones.
We'll say we didn't make this.
Oh, we did make this.
Yeah.
We found this.
So if you're
don't
like,
judge us.
why is this band here? Why you put
Why
this
have you got
band?
Green Day in there?
Yeah, we literally Googled like 20 top rock bands of all time or something like that. Tier list.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, it was like, cool, yeah, that'll do.
Lots of research and effort as always from us.
Do you know what? Before we get into it, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
And let us know if you want more of this.
Also, we might need to start mentioning this more. We are a band called Meat
Yes.
Alpha, and we actually have music out and everything like that.
Check
So
it
if you
out.
want to go check us out,
There's links in the description.
yeah. There's a lot of people seem to not realise that we actually do music. Right, should we just go from left to right?
Let's go, that's right.
Yeah?
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
One of the most iconic rock bands of all time.
Yep.
D tier. I'm messing with him in his face.
I knew you were messing, but I was just like, no, shut up.
Well, they're not S tier.
Where are we?
So if you haven't watched a tier list video or know anything about it before, you can see that there's just tiers. S tier is like,
there's going to be tears.
there's going to be tiers, is the best bands of all time. A tiers is like the greatest bands of all time. And then, you know, it goes down from there.
You guys can guess.
You know how grading works. It's just the S tier that's
confusing.
yeah.
A star. It should be.
Yeah. Cool. I'm not the biggest Rolling Stones fan. I think their music's great. I think they're a great band. And I don't necessarily listen to the music often. And I don't choose to listen to the music often.
Yeah, so I've always found because growing up, it was always, there was just an undiscussed, like, just it's between Beatles and Stones.
It doesn't have to be.
Is the point I was getting to. So like when I was like going through school and stuff, it was just always, oh, it's either Beatles or Stones. That's the conversation. After growing up and doing my own research, I can tell you that it's neither of them. It's Pink Floyd.
Yes.
Not spoiler alert. But yeah.
Should we just get out of the way?
Yeah, I'm here for it. We'll just chuck them straight up at the top.
Yeah, so Pink Floyd are S tier. They are the greatest band of all time.
If you don't agree with us,
Let us know why in the comments.
Make your own tier list.
So why are
and
they the
tag us
greatest
in
band
it.
of all time?
They are the best live band.
Probably, yeah.
And in my opinion, Dark Side of the Moon is the greatest album ever written. So just best recording band and best live band kind of default makes you the best band ever.
The songwriting is superb. If you go listen to The Wall, obviously it's a movie and all of that stuff, but just like the coherent themes that you have going through it and the storyline and like the growth or if you want to call it growth.
Yeah.
Throughout it, fantastic.
I like the video for The Wall as well, like with the animations.
Yes.
It's really like Python, like Monty Python-esque, like their sketches, which I love.
Yeah.
So it also makes me think of that. And also, I just remember being a kid, my mum trying to get me into drama and like theatre and stuff and doing like Another Brick in the Wall and stuff like that. And it's just fun. Like anytime I look back at Pink Floyd, even like sad ones. So like at my granddad's funeral, we played Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So even that is like, but like I look back at it and I don't look at it sadly, or I look back at it fondly. It's like, no, keep shining.
Yeah.
There's so many songs they have that just mean so much to everyone. And yeah, for me, they are in S tier.
They're timeless, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll probably listen to Dark Side of the Moon when I'm 80.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people do right now.
Yeah.
So should we move on?
Yeah, let's go back to the Stones. I'm with you. I don't think they're S tier. And by that, I mean, they're not perfect. Like, and
that's what makes them great though.
Yeah. It's so tough because I was going to say like Pink Floyd are pretty much perfect, but
they're not.
Yeah, but then it's like actually no, perfect isn't an S tier. That's not a thing. Like music shouldn't be perfect, otherwise it's pop music.
It's
awful.
stale and boring.
Yeah, it's to a T. Like everything's auto tuned and it's awful.
So the way that we can do it instead of just being like A tier, we can have like the top of A tier or
bottom
of B tier.
Yeah.
I'd probably put them top B tier. Me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going top A tier.
Oh, I'm not
pushing it into S.
I
They're
put them
so
bottom A tier.
iconic.
They are iconic, but the first hit was written. Yeah, was written by the Beatles. So they catapulted their career.
Okay.
Which makes the Beatles S tier.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. I would put them high A because they are just. You will never ever replace or get another Mick Jagger or Keith Richards, let alone Charlie on the drums as well. And then you got Brian Jones in before Ronnie Wood, fucking Ronnie Wood as well.
Yeah.
Because they got him from the Faces.
I'd compromise and put him lower A tier.
I mean, I'm going to take what I can get here, but I just think I think people forget just how many unbelievably, insanely good songs Rolling Stones actually have. Yeah.
And like, as soon as they come on, it's like, you're like, yes.
That, Give Me Shelter, Painted Black. Like, there's so many ones with
iconic
Satisfaction. Like, there's just so many that kick in. You go, oh my God, yeah. Angie is a great one. Like, they've got amazing slower ones. And as well, I will say, they released an album last year. And there's some bangers on that.
That's true. It sounds great as well.
They're still touring.
This is really hard because I look at some of the other bands on here and I'm like, well, Queen, first of all.
Yeah, should we just get straight to Queen, S tier?
S tier.
Yeah.
We all know why.
Bohemian Rhapsody is the best song ever written.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an
blows me away every time I listen to it. And they are up top 3 best live bands ever.
Maybe, yeah.
I would say definitely top 5.
Go watch our Live Aid reaction.
Go watch our 10 Queen reactions.
Or Pink Floyd reactions, yeah.
Yeah. Queen. It's pretty simple. Freddie Mercury, going back to saying by default Pink Floyd are the best, Queen have the best frontman of all time.
Yeah.
So therefore default in S. Oh, that default gets them in A. Add in Roger Taylor, John Deacon, Brian May. It's pretty simple. Yeah. Just get them up there, man.
One of the strongest rhythm sections in rock and roll band ever, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how much more we can say about Queen. You all know how great Queen are.
Yeah. I don't think we really need to talk much. Have you just seen what's next?
Yeah. This is really, this is what I mean. Like, some of this is really spicy because Eagles have the most selling out, like they've sold the most albums of all time.
Yeah, the facts that Jack always used to say, our old guitarist Jack, and it blows my mind, is they had the best selling album in the 70s, which was their greatest hits, and that's before Hotel California. Yeah. Like, oh my God. I saw someone filmed a video, then they played Manchester the other day, and I don't really know how many are left. I know Don Henley's still there.
I don't know.
But their harmonies were
unreal.
Unbelievable. All of them are so talented, and these songs that this band has.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. That it was just cut, and it was like, which one of these do you remember, or something like that, and it was just like chopped up, and there was like 10 of them, and I was like, oh my God, to every single
bangers.
one.
Yeah. So this is really interesting because
you want to put them in front of
S.
You want to put them in S?
Yeah. It's hard to argue with the numbers, but I can't in my heart compare them to Pink Floyd, Queen.
Yeah, I mean we're a stickler for Eagles. The amount, literally yesterday we were in a shop. Everywhere we go, we just hear "Take It Easy."
Yeah,
and yeah,
I'm making an executive decision here.
Are you putting them in front of Stones?
Yep.
I can't argue it.
Yep.
I'd say as a overall like musician, Eagles are better
than Stones, but Stones are probably more iconic here in the UK.
That's the thing as well. Yeah, it's like if you ask like some bloody Florida resident, they'd be like, Eagles, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got biases. See, okay, I'm going to move on quickly. I don't know why Green Day's on here.
Yeah, they shouldn't be on here, but I do really like Green Day. I like
songs.
Green Day. Dookie, I used to be obsessed with Green Day for a little bit when I was like 18, mainly because of Trey on the drums, Trey Cool.
Okay.
So when I was like heavily drumming for like the recoups and stuff, oh mate, I'd get the first thing I'd done when I got home from hospital after like 2 weeks was play Saint Jimmy. Dum, gats, dum, dum. Oh, it's so good. They've got they're really good live.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them, but they're very good live.
They seem like really cool dudes as well, to be fair.
They seem lovely, don't they? They seem really cool.
And with that, I'd probably put them in like a C.
I was thinking C.
Okay.
They've got some really, really good songs. They do, but they also at the same time have some stinkers.
Yeah.
They really do. But yeah, great live band. They have some fucking huge tunes and they seem like lovely dudes. So
when you've got on a list with Pink Floyd, Queen, Eagles, Rolling Stones, AC/DC, the Beatles, and you get put in C tier, I think
that's a good compliment.
That's a massive
That's a big compliment, yeah.
This is going to be fun, I think.
So. In my opinion, I said about this. Don't do it. I said about this when
Scrolling up.
we reacted to something.
Yes.
Paul McCartney
song
done it.
Something.
Yeah, I grew up. My dad loves the Stones and isn't a big. I'll just say he isn't a big fan of the Beatles. So I never really experienced the Beatles until I was old enough to like buy my own records and get Spotify and go experience music myself. And by then it was a bit late. I'd like kind of soaked in who I was as like a music fan, and they've got so many extremes from the poppy Twist and Shout like first album to Revolver and White Album, like rocker Helter Skelter,
Yeah.
And then you've got the trippy hippie side of them, and then you got like Don't Let Me Down.
Yeah.
There's like so many. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to delve into all of what the Beatles have done.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. So what I used to, this is new, by the way. Arctic Monkeys are no longer my favorite band. they're for a very long time, they were my favorite band. And one of the things Arctic Monkeys have done is go from indie rock band to, I don't even know what you'd say, like atmospheric, theatrical soundscape. I don't even know what they are on their last album, and that's what I see the Beatles as. It's like, what's your identity? You've and that's the thing. So they had such a short lifespan. How have you changed so much in like
8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah, because they released 2 albums a year.
Yeah, I know.
So, but that's what makes them impressive.
Yeah,
one, they're constantly writing, and 2, they changed music forever.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
Okay.
But for me, it's just I like a band to like Kings of Leon.
Or to have the sound.
No, yeah, they have
a sound.
They have their identity and they stick to it.
If you dropped into a random album and then dropped into like a late one, an early one, you'd have a coherent theme. You could hear what they
because it's Paul and John really, isn't it? And then Ringo on the drums.
And he's just not even mentioning George Harrison.
Oh, and George Harrison. Funny enough, my dad, who doesn't like the Beatles, the only one he likes is George Harrison. He's the only one he has time for.
They change music forever. All of these bands that we've got listed at the top here, maybe not the Eagles, I don't know. There's interviews. So we've got Hendrix after. Pink Floyd. There's so many interviews of like Gilmore and Roger Waters and all those being like, oh yeah, we was in Abbey Road. We just sat and watched what the Beatles did and copied that. And then there's so many interviews of like Brian May being like, oh yeah, the Beatles, Rolling Stones. Oh yeah, the Beatles.
So so where do you want to put them?
I'm going to put them between... I'll show you. There.
No.
Yep.
No, they're not in S tier.
They are in S tier.
They're not.
What? So they're going to be what? Below Eagles and Rolling Stones?
No, I'll compromise and put them top of A.
No.
But I don't think... I put them on par with Eagles, Stones.
They're not on par with Eagles and Stones. I bet.
So it's like... I've been blown away by both of these bands' live sets. Show me a Beatles live set that is going to blow me away.
They stopped being a live band after 66.
Yeah.
And that's because,
because it was so loud.
So in the 80s, you had proper sound systems.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 90s, which is where we listened to like the Polestar or whatever, amazing sound systems. In the 60s, they had tannoy speakers in stadiums like Shea Stadium, and all you hear is ah.
Yeah.
So how am I meant to show you something? The fact that they can play, they can't hear themselves. They're all in time. They're roughly in key. They are flat.
Yeah.
some songs, and without monitors, without speakers, and all they can hear is just girls screaming.
I will preface that with the Stones in the same decade done.
They weren't playing as big stadiums.
Yeah, but they were doing stadiums. The Who would have been touring around that time, doing big venues.
They weren't playing as big
Woodstock
stadiums.
would have been
Yeah.
late 60s. And where are the Beatles?
Where are the Beatles?
Yeah,
They stopped playing
exactly.
because they were touring.
But that's where I'm like,
years.
but that's where I'm like, do they deserve? Are they in S tier
Yep.
when they didn't do what Pink Floyd and Queen have done?
Well, because they had more longevity.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Does that not counter into S tier?
But if you didn't have Sgt. Pepper's, you wouldn't have Pink Floyd.
I don't think they should be in S.
If you didn't have Sgt. Pepper's, you wouldn't have pretty much all of the Stones. Like after 67,
Hmm.
you wouldn't have Hendrix, who was incredibly inspired by them, who's probably S tier
Yeah, but
as well.
they're all also inspired by the people who come before them and all the
Well, the
blues
Beatles.
artists.
What playing three chords?
Yeah, but like that's what they grew up on. That's where they started. That's where everyone begun.
I'm not compromising. They're S tier. They changed music forever. They changed music recording forever, songwriting forever, and inspired the greatest bands of all time.
Okay, I don't agree. If you're going to keep it there, you're going to keep it there. But I disagree.
They're better band than the Queen.
I disagree.
Cool. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
No.
Jimi Hendrix has inspired every guitarist for the last 4
He
years.
is. Funny enough, I was thinking about this the other day. He's the one person. Oh, not the one. Sorry, that's a bad way to put it. He is the top of my list of if I could go back and save a musician to be alive now
Yeah.
and see what they would have done if they were alive, it would be Jimmy. I would love. And when I say this, you're going to be like, yeah, Jimmy through the disco era of music
Maybe.
would be insane. Through the grunge era of the 90s. Like, just, I'd love to hear his take on all these genres that come through after he passed and just see what he would have done. Because, my God, that man was a genius. And the things he'd be able to play with throughout these years as well, all the different things all the different effects and pedals that he never even got to see. And he had a fuzz face and a wah
Univibe.
and a Univibe and
And a Marshall.
yeah, and that's it.
Got it. Yeah.
That's it. That's all he had to play with. And he wrote Hey Joe. He wrote Purple Hay. He wrote some of the
Little Wing.
yeah, wrote some of the best
Yeah.
guitar parts ever, and he didn't even get a chance. It's so annoying. Like he's in the biggest name in the 27 Club. Him, Jim Morrison, and Amy Winehouse, and it's just like, oh, the things this man would have done with his career. Yeah, he's definitely S tier.
I agree with you, but at the same time, those 3 years of Jimmy were magical, and all of those albums are incredible. It's like, can he keep that up? Do you reckon he could have kept that up?
He never got a chance to taint his legacy.
Yeah, like he didn't get a chance to write a bad album,
Yeah.
or I mean, Isle of Wight wasn't a fantastic gig for him, but he didn't have many like really poor performances.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how would have he reacted to those?
Yeah.
How would his perception be now if he had 5 more years? Because he is held as arguably the greatest guitarist of all time. Would he have maintained that? Would we have got Stevie Ray Vaughan, for example? And I know that's obviously a bad example, but
No, not
he's
at all.
a great guitarist.
It's brutal, but Stevie Ray Vaughan and then John Mayer are just direct rips of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Granted, they are insane. To be a direct rip of Jimi Hendrix is a huge compliment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. It is true. Like Stevie probably wouldn't have come through. I mean, Stevie would play with Bowie. He played on some of his albums, and that's where he got his start. But I do agree. And yeah, you are right.
Oh, it's Aerosmith.
Oh, that one.
This one.
Mm.
Yeah, Hendrix has inspired probably. If you're not inspired by Hendrix, you're inspired by someone who was inspired by Hendrix.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
This one is probably one of my least favourite ones on the list.
Really?
I'm not a massive fan of Nirvana. I don't really understand grunge. To me, it's just a bunch of moody people making moody songs for the sake of being moody. And quite often, it I know he had his troubles and stuff, but I'm not necessarily talking about Nirvana. But I hear grunge bands, and especially modern grunge bands, who've come and like listened and grown up to that. They're like, "Oh, I'm depressed, so I'm going to write depressive music," and it's like, but you're not.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not too clued up on this, but I don't recall Kurt Cobain being that publicly exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
sitting on a podcast and saying how depressed you are. It's like, if you were truly, truly depressed, it wouldn't be so easy for you to sit on a public platform and just say, yeah, I'm really low right now. It's a really, really tough thing to admit. Granted, some people do that.
Yes.
And it's really, really good, and you definitely should talk about your mental health.
Absolutely.
That's something that we, Meet Arthur, really advocate for, is you should definitely talk about your mental health. I've never seen anything of Kurt. If anything, I've seen the complete opposite. I've only ever seen Kurt Cobain smiling in front of a camera, being a lovely, lovely human being.
Being a goofy guy.
Yeah, and it's only after the suicide, we don't know.
Alleged suicide.
The conspiracies, let them flow. It's only since that you look back and go, oh, well, yeah, he was a troubled dude.
Yeah, well, you could see it, obviously, after.
Yeah, you can definitely see it, but that's what you say about all of them, isn't it? You see it, you look back and you can just see, like, the fake happy.
Just to make sure people are aware, I'm not saying don't talk about your mental health, don't write songs about depression. It's more the image that people are making.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the main problem that I have with grunge, is I don't believe a lot of the people that write grunge music. And I obviously wasn't around through Nirvana. I don't really understand their impact. And I know they've inspired loads of people, but I don't listen to it, and it doesn't connect with me.
A good way to support your point is they done like an MTV live set, which is so good.
It is so good.
But in the crowd is a load of jocks, or like the bullies of like the American schools. And it was like Nirvana became big and all the popular kids started liking it. And it was like, aren't you meant to be the voice of the small kids? I'm with you. I don't really get it.
I don't get it.
But I do really. I have a lot of time for Nirvana.
I like some of the songs.
I think we haven't mentioned him yet, and he's played a huge part in my Dave Grohl on the drums.
He's inspired modern rock drums. He's basically created modern rock drums.
Legit, yeah.
So okay, fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, it dropped in my head. I was like, oh wait, Dave Grohl. Yeah, Dave Grohl has played a huge part in my drumming style. The guy's a legend.
Is Foo Fighters not on here?
No. That's what I'm saying. I mean, speaking of Foos, one of the best sets I've ever seen was Foo Fighters at London Stadium a few years back. He's just insanely talented. If we're going on individuals, then Dave is up there. But as Nirvana, again, such a short, like he died at 27 as well. He's in the 27 club. It was just they got stopped too early. I remember Cam talking about and saying they'd started writing and recording some new stuff just before he died, and apparently it was like really, really good, and then it just never come out or anything. Yeah,
I'm happy to say that it doesn't connect with me. I don't understand it, and that's a me thing. It doesn't mean they're bad.
No, not at all. You can never say "It Smells Like Teen Spirit" is one of the most iconic things ever. Yeah, it's one of the first songs every guitarist learns. "Come As You Are," "In Bloom," "Lithium." They've got "Drain You." Like that album, that first album has got some insanely good songs on it, and it's also like grunge is a hard one to like think about. You're saying you don't like grunge, but then you think Smashing Pumpkins, Pixies.
I don't think Smashing Pumpkins are grunge.
Really? Do you not?
They're more like towards psychedelic, alt rock,
kind
of prog rock, those kind of things. There are elements of grunge, but I don't think they're like the sludgy kind of grunge that I associate with Nirvana.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's tough because there's a lot of grunge bands that I like. I love Pixies as well. They were like my favourite band for a little bit.
I think of them more as indie.
They're definitely an indie band,
okay.
but there's some of their stuff is super grungy, and there's a lot like screaming. They've got a set. I can't remember what year it is. I want to say 94 at Brixton Academy, and it's on YouTube, and it's unbelievable. It's so good, and that's very grungy.
Okay. Where should we put them?
It's tough. They're definitely above Green Day.
Yeah, but maybe we need to bring Green Day down. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's going to be... I don't know. I'm looking at some of the other ones that we've got coming up, and I think that's about right. I'd be happy to put C tier in front of Green Day.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
With how much they've inspired music, and it's not how like the cult following that they have.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that.
Yeah,
cool.
Their logo as well.
Yeah,
it's just so iconic.
AC/DC. Growing up, I don't know if you know this, but Angus Young was probably like one of the biggest inspirations on my guitar playing. I love AC/DC. They're not.
Is that why you always wear that school uniform?
I'm not Louis. If he's watching. They're not S tier because they wrote the same song. Oh,
they're just behind the Stones in A, I think.
Do you know what? I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a running joke that they have the same song over and over again, but what a song, eh?
Yeah, Highway to Hell is one of the like greatest rock songs ever.
Thunderstruck.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
TNT.
Yeah.
You Shook Me All Night Long.
Yeah.
Just to name a few of the absolute
man.
bangers. I love AC/DC. I'm a massive fan of AC/DC.
Yeah.
So if I was making a tier list myself, I'd put them above the Stones, but I'm happy to have it because they're still touring today. Oh no, Brian Johnson gave up, didn't he? Because of his ears.
I think he's touring again.
Back?
I think
great.
these because I always thought when he was saying about his ears, I was like, in ears, just get in-ear monitors.
Yeah, but
set the levels right.
From the 80s, and you've just got. Marshals.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I know he is super active. Yeah. Like he turned up at a Sam Fender gig the other day.
Cool.
Like he does do gigs, so I know they're touring, and I couldn't imagine them not with him because it would just be Angus pretty much. And then who's the other guitarist?
He passed away.
Oh, did he?
Ages ago, Malcolm Young.
Yes, that's the one. Okay.
Probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest rhythm sections in rock and roll history.
Yeah.
They are so tight. Have you watched much of them live?
I've watched a fair bit.
They put on a good show.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. And also, the SG wouldn't be the SG without Angus and AC/DC. Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Cool.
Aerosmith.
It's going to be it.
Do you know what?
Steven Tyler is incredible singer.
Insanely good.
Yeah.
And they do have some bloody good songs.
Yeah.
Do you know, they get a lot of stick and they get a lot of like...
Unfortunately, it's like TikTok and that kind of stuff where they've like
it's the same thing as Nickelback of like, do you know what? They're genuinely a good band, but they just get taken the piss out of. And I don't really know why. Aerosmith are great. They're also in Wayne's World 2. And I love that film. If you book the gig, they will come.
Allegedly. I'm going to go and put them in B tier. Because I don't think they're as good as AC/DC.
Oh, no.
He's probably a better singer.
I don't know, you know. Dynamically, yes. But is it Brian Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the old singer's name. That's going to kill me.
I forgot his name as well. The fact that they replaced the old singer with Brian and it's seamless and it's like, but also such a unique voice. It's so hard to sing like that.
I think Brian Johnson's first album was Back in Black, which is like their biggest album.
Well, that's kind of a good time to come in. I'm happy for Aerosmith to go B. I think they get a lot of hate. Not hate, but just taking the piss out of. And it's not just.
No, they're underrated, we could say.
Yeah, his vocals are unbelievable.
I don't know any of the other members, but...
He's also a great harmonica player.
The guitarist is killer as well.
Yeah.
I don't know the names. I'm not a massive Aerosmith fan.
Neither am I.
Speaking of which, I'm not a massive Def Leppard fan. But
why are they on here?
I'm blown away by how like they played Wembley recently because our friend went to it and it was sold out.
Yeah, but they didn't sell top tier.
What do you mean?
You can do stadiums and not sell tiers.
Okay.
So it was like standing and bottom row.
Oh, that's still a lot of people.
There's still a lot of people.
I don't really know many songs.
I couldn't tell you one.
Songs.
Don't have girls, girls, girls.
Oh God,
and
some hate in the comments.
Yeah, they're very. Yeah, that's their whole thing, isn't it? Like they've got the guitar pedals as well. And I'm not going to say what they're called.
That's not Def Leppard.
Steel Panther.
Yes.
I'm thinking of Steel Panther.
Yeah. Def Leppard's the drummer
has
into a
got one
car
arm.
accident. Yeah.
So I really respect that.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. The drummer of Status Quo come to my school. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. And like chat to him for a bit, and he said that he worked with the drummer of Def Leppard to work out because he had like because they didn't get rid of him first of all, which is so cool.
Yep.
But he had to get like triggers and different pedals to account for not being able to hit with another arm. So he worked with him to do that, and I thought that was really, really cool.
That is very cool. I don't know where to put them.
I couldn't tell you one. I can picture a music video of them knocking down a house because I remember the drummer being in it. But I couldn't name you one Def Leppard song.
If we load it up, do you know what? We've got Spotify right here. Oh yeah, we'll cut this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Pour some sugar on me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to put them in C tier.
Okay.
Bottom C tier.
Bottom C tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, they're not for us. They are well and truly cheesy rock, aren't they?
They're a proper dad rock band.
Yeah, they really are.
Going on to Kiss.
I don't get Kiss at all. I'm not going to lie.
Or like the makeup and stuff.
My favourite thing about Kiss is when Dave Grohl and Foos got that kid up who had the Kiss makeup on to play Monkey Wrench.
So nothing to do with
Nothing
Kiss.
to do with Kiss other than the guy had face paint on.
I just school.
Like
Some of these songs just being like 12 and blasting them, Guitar Hero and stuff.
Do you know why I know that? Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
I don't really know any Kiss, and I know Gene Simmons.
I'll be honest, I've watched interviews with him and they seem like right arseholes.
Yeah, but that's a thing with these bands.
It's probably their image, and I'm sure they're probably just actually nice guys, but they're coming across that way because it's their image.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like it.
It's not for me.
It's not for me.
This might be our first D tier. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm happy to go.
I'm not huge on Kiss. I'll be honest, and I'm pretty sure they still tour now, but like there's not one single original member in the band. So it's literally just I remember seeing. I watched this YouTube channel. I don't know. I watched a YouTube channel called TPD TV, and they saw Kiss at this festival. And I'm pretty sure I remember them saying, like, I don't actually think there's any original members in this band anymore. It's like Sugar Babes, because they had the first three. Oh, yeah. And by the end, all three of them were out. And it was 3 different people. Comparing Kiss to Sugar Babes. Where's Sugar Babes on this list?
This one's going to be fun. Wings.
Couldn't tell you one Wings song.
Band on the Run. Live and Let Die.
Oh, Live and Let Die, I know.
Yeah.
I think it's in Shrek.
The next band covered it, made it better.
That's the version I've heard as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's Paul McCartney, isn't it?
Yeah. Wings is interesting. It's someone's knocking the door.
Somebody's ringing the bell.
Yeah.
I know that because of the postcode lottery advert.
Oh. I'm not. I love some of the Wings songs, but I'm not the biggest fan of Wings.
This is coming from a huge Paul McCartney fan, by the way.
He's probably my favourite bass player. I prefer Paul McCartney's solo stuff to Wings because he invented a new rock. He did. Some of the songs I find really jarring, and I know it's like 70s and all that stuff, where it's like you're in one section and then it's like you're in a completely different genre, and then you come back to that section, but then you're like in ska, and it's like I don't understand it, and it I can never connect with it.
Okay. I couldn't tell you a single thing about this band other than Paul McCartney's in it. I genuinely don't know anything about Wings.
I think Linda McCartney was in it as well. And that's all I know.
And she makes vegetarian sausages.
She does. She's slaving away.
What the fuck?
Fantastic photographer.
She is a very good photographer.
Yeah.
And according to Jack, has slept with everyone.
Yep. I don't know where to put him. I'm happy to put him in D tier, but I feel that feels wrong to me because he's got Paul McCartney.
I'd happily put them in D, just because I don't know a single thing about them. I will say as well, my favourite McCartney is actually their daughter.
Fair enough.
She's really, really talented.
I mean, her dad plays.
I don't know if she does music, but she does. She has a documentary about Abbey Road, which is really, really well done.
Cool.
She's great at interviewing, and I think she does photography as well. I'm not sure.
Makes sense.
But yeah, she's great.
Guns N' Roses. This
is a weird one.
Some of the music, I have to be in the mood for it. Sometimes when Welcome to the Jungle comes on, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and then other times it's like, shut up.
I can't be bothered to listen to.
This is a band that needs to stop touring.
Yeah, is Slash in? Is he not? He's in. He's out. He's out. He's in.
It's not because of Slash. Axl Rose just can't sing anymore. But do you know what? Slash has been doing he's like doing a solo album with like loads of people. And Steven Tyler was part of the other one.
Yeah.
And it was solid. Really, really good. I really liked it. And I think he's still killer. I think he's great. Again, another person who gets a lot of hate, Slash.
He's very sloppy. And live, sometimes he can be a bit hit or miss.
Yeah.
But that might just, I don't know.
It's rock and roll, man. Rock and roll.
I mean, to be fair, some of those guitar solos are outrageous.
He's also one of the most like iconic looking people.
Yep, a top hat man.
Yeah,
Axl Rose, but their songs are great.
They were at one point probably the biggest band in the world as well.
Yeah,
my dad saw them at Wembley in I want to say the 80s, and he said when they started playing
Sweet Child of Mine,
everyone started jumping. And he just got lifted off the floor, and he couldn't touch the floor anymore, and he was like floating. And he was like, "What's going on?" And he said because he's like not really into like that rock stuff, but like Scott's mum and dad are. So he like went with them, and they're like doing all this, and my dad's just like, "I listen to the Stones and blues music. What is this?"
They got some killer songs.
They do have some killer songs.
Is it Duff McKagan, the bass player?
Yep, I met him.
He is a fantastic bass player.
Yeah, his daughter's in a band as well. I can't remember the name of it. It's when I met Taylor Hawkins.
What's the drummer's name?
Not a clue.
I can't remember.
Couldn't tell you.
I had a friend in school who was the biggest fan. He knew everything about him. Shout out Connor if you're watching. I used to love him when I was a kid, a teenager.
I feel like if you're on Guitar Hero 3, you immediately get a bit of a pass as well.
What do you mean?
As in, just like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Is possibly the best game ever made.
I think that early Axl Rose, is probably top 10 rock and roll singers of all time.
Ooh.
There's we'll have to go find it actually, maybe react to it. I can't remember what set it is, so if you could let me know in the comments. He's wearing a kilt.
Yeah.
And a bandana.
Yeah, another one.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah. He also done, it's hilarious, he done a song of Elton John at, I want to say, George Michael's tribute show, or it was Freddie's. And it's so awkward, man. Elton's just trying to be Elton, and Axl's like, being Axl, and like there's things like Elton's trying to like calm him down and just like put an arm around him because it's like this like solemn nice thing, and Axl's just like being Axl, and it's like this is not a good combo.
Yeah, there's hundreds of clips of him trying to fight people and trying to fight people in the audience, and
yeah, it's really tough because they are part of that era of rock music, isn't they? The bad boy, like do a load of drugs and then go to the Rainbow and like LA, like the LA scene of rock and roll. They've got like Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine, Welcome to the Jungle. They have some of the biggest riffs in
November
rock.
Rain.
November Rain. Wow. Yeah.
That's a killer guitar solo, that.
I think they're top of B.
Yeah.
They're ahead of Aerosmith.
I was thinking either bottom A or top B.
They're not in the same as AC/DC, Stones and Eagles, are they?
No. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You want me over?
They got to go top B. Oh, wow. Zeppelin.
That's hard.
Ooh.
I don't know if we can put them in S tier.
I was just thinking the same, and then I don't know if they're in front of Eagles. They might be.
I'd put them in front of Eagles, personally.
Yeah, they've got the best rhythm section ever, in my opinion, of John Bonham, best drummer of all time, and John Paul Jones, best bass player of all time.
One of probably top 3 to top 5, maybe. Vocalists of all time.
Robert Plant, yeah. And then Jimmy Page is one of the most unique
chaotic guitar
players ever, and it's so perfect. And then again, what we were saying before of just iconic riffs, Whole Lot of Love, Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Are they in front of Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah, top of A.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Zeppelin, man. Yeah.
So good.
I think Zeppelin defined rock and roll.
Yeah.
And they've got, like you said, probably the most iconic guitar riffs. It was a Black Dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey,
Black Sabbath. This is an interesting one. I love Black Sabbath. Sorry. But I wouldn't put them that high.
Yeah. It's Ozzy Osbourne, though. Ozzy's fucking
He's great.
Iconic,
He's great. I love this podcast.
Sharon! Have you seen my beers? You've drunk them, Ozzy. And we can't judge him on the fucking TV show. Tony Iommi? Is that his name?
The guitarist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he have his fingers cut off?
Yeah, and he's got plastic tips on his fingers, and he can still play that. Iron Man. They just have... They're quite high, aren't they?
I'd put them above Guns N' Roses.
I was thinking top of B as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think... Oh, I feel like they're on level with AC/DC of iconicness.
I think they defined and pushed rock into metal.
Yeah.
And I think they were one of the first forefathers of metal.
Them and Maiden.
Maiden come a bit later.
Yeah. So it's like that. Yeah, them into Maiden and then like Metallica as well. Yeah. They might be bottom of A. Black Sabbath. They are huge.
Yeah.
They've got some of the biggest songs.
I'm happy for that.
Okay. You ready to piss some people off?
What, F tier?
I don't disagree with you. I'm not going to lie. I do not get Red Hot Chili Peppers at all. Flea is an unbelievable bass player.
But the problem with that is too much. Yep.
Chad Smith, unbelievable drummer.
Too much.
He does too much. Just play
John
Frusciante. I don't get at all.
Really?
Yeah.
He's another one of those Hendrix-y kind of people.
He's not for me at all. I much prefer the guy who replaced him. That era. But no, apparently that's it's a real...
Oh, okay. It's a real discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 50-50 in the Chili Peppers group. And it is a bit like, because John it was a mess and they replaced him.
Yeah.
And then when he sorted himself out, they literally just kicked the other guy out and got him back. And it was a bit like the hell, man. And then the singer, Anthony something, I can't remember his name. I'm not huge on his voice. And I never understand what he's saying.
He seems like a cool dude, to be fair. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I might cut this. He's got a really young girlfriend as well. 16 and he's 55. He's I'm going to cut this. They are disgusting human beings.
Yes.
They've had so many run-ins with underage sex and stuff like that. They're not nice people. Back in.
F tier? I'm happy to put it in F. They've got some really iconic...
This is the thing.
By the way.
This is the thing. They have some really iconic songs.
But when you look at this list, and we've got... So just to put the first names in the tiers. Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, Wings. Can you compare Red Hot Chili Peppers to these bands?
I could probably see them in D.
Okay.
They're better than Kiss.
Okay, I wouldn't put them above Paul McCartney.
But it's not Paul McCartney, it's Wings.
I know.
Like, Paul McCartney solo stuff, and Beatles, get that out of there. Just Wings. Have Wings got Under the Bridge and California and like
Live and Let Die. Band on the Run. I can't.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Cause I know we were saying F tier, but kind of joking. Like when you come down to it, they do have some insanely big songs, and that's why they can sell out Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, occasionally it'll come on my like Spotify or whatever, and
I skip them every time.
Oh, okay. I vibe to
It's just not for me. And I know people that adore this band.
Yep.
Cam loves them.
Yeah.
Joe, my mate Joe Bedford, he loves them as well. Shout out Joe. Yeah, it's just not for me. It never has been. But I really do love Chad Smith as a drummer. But yeah, sometimes he's just a bit
too much.
It's just a
all
bit
of those
too
ghost notes. Lynyrd Skynyrd. I'm going to put these quite high.
In my peripheral, I thought you went Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I had, when I was younger, 2 albums. I can't remember which ones. And I listened to those front to back probably hundreds of times. I know you was going to do that. It's frustrating.
I've seen the guitar that was written and recorded on, by the way. It's in Carter Vintage Guitars in Nashville on the wall. Sweet home. Oh, Freebird.
Yeah.
Oh, these are going quite high, you know. Oh, what's the slow one?
That's what I was going to talk about. Let me close this. Sorry. Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is going to be fun. I'm going to put them quite high, personally. Freebird.
Yeah.
Sweet Alabama.
Yep.
Tuesday's Gone and Simple Man are beautiful songs.
Yeah. Where are you going to put them?
Oh, I don't know. This is hard because it's so annoying that like Freebird has been kind of memed to death.
Yeah.
Because that is an incredible song.
TikTok has ruined everything,
it's
hasn't it?
Music.
It has.
It sucks.
Because people hear that riff and they just hear like Lynyrd Skynyrd is a pretty good one for this. People will not give it a chance now. They hear that and they just go, ha ha ha.
Yeah, they think of all the memes that they saw.
Listen to how good this is.
Yeah. Just it's like the first line's like, if I leave here tomorrow, would you remember me? And it's like, oh.
Finally. His voice is great as well. I know where I'd put it, but I want to hear where you want to put it.
It's above Guns N' Roses.
Yep.
And I'd probably put them below AC/DC. So somewhere top B and low A.
I was going to put them in front of Black Sabbath.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with to do that.
I don't think many people have too many critiques on that. No.
Freebird's probably one of the greatest songs, rock and roll songs.
Yeah. Iconic. Ooh.
Beach Boys.
Oh.
This is a fun one, isn't it?
There's Disney are making a film about these.
Okay.
And I can't remember do you remember the name of the main dude?
Oh God.
I can't remember his name. It's kind of around him, of like him putting it together and him being like just this musical genius.
Yes.
I tell you, it's a weird one to put in this tier list.
They're not a rock and roll band, are they?
It's hard to compare them to the rest of the bands, but my God, the Beach Boys are insanely good.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the bands on here have been heavily inspired by the Beach Boys. Eagles, Beatles.
Yep.
Queen, probably. You hear some of that in harmonies.
It's a really tough one to put together, actually, because their harmonies are the best possibly
the best,
ever.
Yeah.
And they kind of like were one of if not the first boy bands.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the Beach Boys, Pet Sounds.
What?
Oh God. Pet Sounds. Yeah. People tout that album as the greatest album of all time.
Wow.
Genuinely, they do.
Do you know what? I've never sat and really listened to Beach Boys. I should. Because anytime I hear them, I'm super blown away and impressed.
If you go and listen to a lot of like these kind of things where people talk about albums and that kind of things, they put those so high up, and some people do put it as the greatest album of all time. With the thing is like one of the most influential albums.
I was going to say even down to like the do 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 do, and then the ooh. Yeah, that just screams Beatles to me.
Yeah.
So like they would have really influenced them.
Yeah, if you go and if you do listen to Sgt. Pepper's and you listen to Pet Sounds, you're like, oh yeah, okay, it makes a bit more sense. You get elements from it, and Rubber Soul, nope, Revolver in particular. Mm-hmm. So I don't know which one came out before, but I'm sure they were somewhere around there. This is tough.
This might be a rogue shout here. I don't think we should put them in this tier list.
Do you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay to do that
because they are A to S tier in general.
Yep.
But I don't feel like we can put the Beach Boys in a list with Led Zeppelin.
No, that feels wrong.
It's not the same. It'd be like asking us to put One Direction in with this. Like it kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Beach Boys are they're a pop band.
They're a pop band.
Yeah. It's like the Beatles and the Beach Boys were like the first boy bands. When you think about it, and it's like, oh, Ringo's my favourite. No, Paul's my favourite. Yeah, okay. Same with the Beach Boys, just like it was Harry Styles is my favourite. No, Niall Horan's my They're boy bands.
How do you know the names?
I know all the names, mate. One D for life.
Yeah, we can't put them in a Zepp. However,
The
Who?
So Beach Boys are like an A to S tier band, but I don't think we should put them in this list.
No.
So we're going to leave them to the side. But if you wanted an answer, it's between A and S.
Yeah.
The Who are an S tier band. Quadrophenia and Tommy, and then songs like Baba O'Reilly, Pinball Wizard, just
My Generation.
The list goes on. My Generation.
Yeah.
I just think they are, and then thinking the members, Keith Moon, John Entwistle, Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey. Said it about Robert Plant. Roger Daltrey is up there with the best rock vocalists of all time.
Top 5, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
Keith Moon is one of the most iconic drummers in the world and will never ever be forgotten.
Absolute chaos.
John Entwistle is probably joint top best bass players of all time for me with John Paul Jones in Led Zeppelin. And Pete Townsend is super, super iconic just from the down, everything he does. And he done all the synths for Baba O'Reilly as well, which again was super revolutionary and like huge. And yeah, I just think they kind of changed everything. And again, the thing that annoys me the most with The Who is that nobody puts them in discussion of one of the greatest bands of all time.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talks about The Who. And it's like, why?
My problem with this is if we're going to put The Who in S tier, I'd want Led Zepp with them. That's the problem. So I agree with you. I think The Who are fabulous, but I don't know if I can compare them to Pink Floyd, Queen, Beatles, and Hendrix. So if you've got your tiers, it's like S tier, and then The Who's like just kissing the bottom of S tier for me. But that's where I'd put Led Zepp as well. I think they're both crazy influential in the same, like obviously not the same, but in the kind of the same way. But Led Zepp is obviously touted for how fantastic they are, but The Who isn't. So The Who's probably underrated.
I think The Who just edge Led Zeppelin.
So you put them top 8 here?
I'd put them bottom S. And then Led Zepp are what you just said, just kissing S tier.
Okay.
That's me though. Because if Led Zeppelin had Quadrophenia and Tommy, like movies, like they have written a whole album for a film, and like that's very new back then. Like
Beatles did it,
but that was the Beatles film. It was like quite cheesy. Tommy is what the Beatles done. Quadrophenia is about modern rockers. It tells a story. It's two characters, and it's just so like the opening track of the Quadrophenia album. Can you see the real me? Can you? Can you? It's just so good. And yet, for me, I think the Who are S tier. They're bottom of S tier.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we reacted to them the other day, and just watching them live.
We did give them 100.
Yeah, and I can say I've seen Roger and Pete live twice now, and it blew me away. And I know it's just the two of them now, but like I can only imagine the noise they would have made with Keith and John. Yeah, I think it's tough because I did say Led Zeppelin have the best rhythm section with John Paul Jones and John Bonham, but then I can also go, yeah, man, but Keith Moon and John Entwistle. And it's so unique. No one else will ever be John Entwistle and Keith Moon. And then to be able to play guitar and sing to that fucking mayhem.
Yeah. But the problem with that, see, the same argument, I'd want Led Zeppelin with them because John Bonham changed rock and roll drums forever. But
the Who didn't come up during Led Zeppelin era.
No, they come before.
Yeah. So Keith Moon is like transitioning from like blues jazz drummer, which is the thing back then, to John Bonham is the first like
true rock drummer,
26-inch kick and like that's rock drumming, and he's like kind of the first of that. So Keith Moon's like, I don't even know what he is. He doesn't even play a beat. I don't know what he is. So it's really hard because I do agree that Led Zeppelin are very revolutionary, and we are doing a rock tier list. So I guess they probably could be S tier. But yeah, I'm standing by the Who are S tier, and then Led Zepp are like have their toe in the door of S tier. Oh, I don't know. It's so annoying because I would be fine putting both of them in S, but I don't think we should have more in S than we do in A.
Yeah, no, that I agree with you if I was wrong. But they are the most iconic rock bands and probably the most iconic bands of all time. Like Pink, if you were to make a top 10 list of greatest bands of all time, it would be Pink Floyd, Queen, Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zepp, The Who.
Yeah.
So it's like basically
it's criminal that the Stones are this low, by the way.
What do you mean? What, below Eagles? We're talking about having Led Zepp in S tier, and then it's like 2 down.
You just listed all the bands of it. You didn't even mention the Stones. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but I didn't have 3. It's like I probably have, yeah, like just this, The Who, Led Zepp, and then this here. So it's like,
what do we do?
Can we have like a S minus, where we'd put Led Zepp and The Who, but The Who would be S minus.
No.
Oh, he's ruined it. Oh. Okay.
I'll change the colour of that one.
Absolute amateurs over here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. We had to create a new.
It's our tier list, okay? We do what we want. We've made a new tier for Led Zeppelin and the Who. Oh wait,
that's on the line. Yeah, I see.
There you go.
To me, it's like 1A, 1B, and like whichever one you want them around, fine. I'm happy for that. So I would have Led Zepp as 1A, but it's like 1A, 1B. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you happy with that?
I still stand by that the Beatles wouldn't be up there. But yeah,
I'm standing my ground on that.
I mean, they're the Beatles, so I can't really argue it. It's like personal preference. I wouldn't put them there, and the Stones would be in Hell Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is.
So I've spent a lot of time talking to people from different countries, and if you sing a Beatles song, they know them. They know all of them. They've all grown up with the Beatles, and Beatles is worldwide. I don't think if you started singing Give Me Shelter, someone from the middle of Sweden or Norway would be like, no, I don't know about that.
They would.
If you're from Norway or Sweden.
No, I know. I've watched specifically South America, so Argentina, Brazil, like all of them
It's
countries.
quite far away from Sweden.
Mexico, Stones are bigger than the Beatles, 100%. They are huge. They are literally gods out there.
I don't know about that.
No, trust me, I know. I've done my research. They are huge out there. So I actually don't agree with you there.
Okay. Anyway, in the middle of Sweden and Norway, would they start singing that? I don't know. If you let us know what you think about it in the comments.
Yeah, what would you change on this tier list? I think we've done pretty well there.
I'm very happy with that.
It looks weird now that A's low. It looks like it's third tier where it should be really close to S.
I'm pretty happy with that. I can't think of.
I would happily from B downwards. Yeah, like B downwards. I'd happily probably just not listen to. I do like Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses, but I'm not that fussed. C, yeah, and then D, yeah, I could just. I probably won't ever listen to. It's just is what it is. So yeah, and then there was like, we're not mean, like none of them deserve F.
No, they're all great bands in their own way. Is they've got massive followings. So
yeah,
they're doing something right.
I think we've smashed that, to be honest.
I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Okay.
If you enjoyed, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
What should be the code word for this long video?
Red candle.
Red candle. Comment red candle if you've made it this far in the video. If you have, thank you.
Yep.
Make sure you.
And for the people
like
who
and
just
subscribe.
clicked off, the real code is melted red candle, because there's a candle that's been on this whole time and it's struggling.
It's about halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and tell us in the comments if you enjoyed it, if you agreed with our tiers. If you want us to do more of these, I know we've sat down and done reaction videos previously, but we do kind of want to do different
stuff,
content.
yeah.
We're going to do things like record a song in a day, like recreate songs as well. So like The Who will try and recreate a Who song. No idea how that will go, but that's the whole point of the video. We could absolutely fail. Who knows?
I think a fun one would be to get a band that we know nothing about and just get the chords.
Oh, yeah.
That could be fun.
Let us know if you want to see that.
Yeah.
We're going to do it anyway. Cool. Yeah. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We're called Me Arthur. If you want to go listen to us, you can. Links are in the bio. And we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.